But over the weekend, Bidin Komobi or baby, Nana, there is a serious thing happening in this country. It looks as if say you refikakra. When him say banking sector cleanup ne buy, you know, before I be a debt exchange program, no, near the kind of banking sector cleanup.
Cleanup, yes.
There are companies and financial institutions non-crofo aye investment with them. Okay? San crofo ni nyina no wo musika ye den ekokem. Okay? Okay, President Mahama in 2024 promise say banks no kwan aye fa so go bi mu at the time and betimi are recapitalize na yama wo musika dia so omo ase na ban mom ani akwa adwuma wo mo ye ho. Ya nye ne sa. Now President Mahama promise say NDC ba power in 2024 what the government no ebeye no any say they will have a critical look at the banking sector cleanup exercise a course or no believe we say banks ni bi ho no ma ye gi omo license yan famra kwan so na gi and as ye famra kwan so kra na I mean reasons ye de gi license na de gu no
na a week
no san crofo no obesan restore omo licenses okay again enkrofo a wo musika kokamu yantua womuka at the time a cleanup no buy especially one more na aye investment with those investment banks near the end ni nyina no dear president promises say na buy ne ba wo beye as we speak now unim say enkrofo a wo musika ekika ka mu ni nyina no besi ne bebre na ho a wo musika wo monsankan okay bebre na ho musika wo monsankan now those people are beginning to complain say omampanyin baye 1 year down the line 2025 budget ignore them one more said that make provisions be for them in as much as year for the debt exchange program when him say coupons no ho a mature maturity what it means is that me to bonds me invest in bonds for a period of 6 months me crame certificate I indicate say my investment so 6 months there was a percentage promise I buy at the mame and me expect say sa interest ebeba beka misika botri na me investing and I'm expecting say me interest in beba na ababe add up to me principal amount of money me the year investment okay now some of these people when maturity stages ni so ya yentimintua no aban ye say I mean, on period basis, obetua, now a lot of them are saying, say, Womusika no so are buying to me in and budget now no carries a lot of expectation, especially for next year. Sandiema way no maturity stages no a bit to me a drew. It is expected say a buy bit to me etua. Again, medical bosso, oshe graphic and him a buy juma for ketuantu 9%. And a buying for the year 2026 obetimi the ide e amawom labor minister any labor unions and leaderships share aye negotiation ama minimum wage has been increased by 9%. Okay, and a lot more of the expectations again say a buying ebetimi aye nhye ebetimi aboa ma edwadifo so ho ahenhan now utie President Mahama waka say the fluctuation yenya in terms of the exchange rate into offer CD na offer dollar na as I say yetimi peg at a certain level okay say 12 Ghana cedis and a peg at as I say gina 12 Ghana cedis for a period of time so that importers any exporters ebetimi plan because a dollar etiba form bebrea exporters complaining because exactly complaining because dollar lose some level of value and omo niema na omo de kwa ameno ni nyina na omo koton wi a dollar na omo benya dia back na isa now dollar nso gain much more weight than the cedi. What it means is that importers are almost almost ebebre and then they will begin to complain. Mind you, whether import or export, the industries work Ghana a bit more raw materials and a deba.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and definitely obekra niema. So we kra no person ye exporter. Okay, definitely. And niema ni bi oho ma e bona amfivana. What it means is that the production no sika wodi shame no or babe boka to that extent. And all these expectations are there. Now it is expected that finance minister no should be able to manage the economy and tell us, say, okay, going into next year, no, for the first half of the year, for the first 6 months, this is what we are looking at. And by our projections, CD will stand at this level with the dollar, so that you can as well, monitor, okay, and then ubetimia observe it for that period. Now, the ubetimia KBM so no, and it's a they are not expecting a buying so the taxes be beba. Okay, and by renewal of one more mandate, now the government, taxes are what they be say, what percent of them for or more dear. And what taxes at the port, no be you must consider it.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so it cannot be say, exchange rate here. With inflation here, yet or taxes no boom they will still complain. And all these things expectation plus the many other programs are buying way ankasa a promises say senyame na dumdo win power obetimi ayeden aye. Now the fight against corruption on the issues of sika yeshri the air cost public accounts committee enim in the last few weeks a committee netina say one more year juma people are expecting the ripple effect and they say a bit reflected on this budget. A bank should be able to tell us clearly the effort and measures I will be taking to be able to fight some of these things going into next year. And the expectations are much. Now Ghana for one so share ni say programs are hold are buying a cast or plus
95.1
projects. Okay, when him say president launching the big push agenda,
they were launching.
President said in the next 2 years, he's pleading say Ghana for too because of my money no a construction site or area. What it means is that there are so many enclaves in this country. Baby no, okay. Construction now people are saying say they do not anticipate the Akufo-Addo time nibi. Say every year for 3 consecutive years, President Akufo-Addo ne Amwakwanta declare year of rose for 3 consecutive years. Okay?
But Ankosiaga.
I'm only explaining what happened in the past.
But me
say,
say,
for 3
I may just say Ankosiaga. And I can give you a typical example of it.
Maybe for 3 consecutive years.
Yeah.
Every year be a year and a corner year for bar. Yes, you I fear by you year of roads. Okay. Edidi mua toll booths, you closing it down. Now, if the government is going to reintroduce toll booths, I was to say now, by now, the roads minister and the finance minister should be telling us the new modalities are what now governs MITS you better reintroduce tolls but you better electronically now ye mo bia nkotirem zo begigi sika now o pese wo ye electronic boot ahe na betimi abelde because again Nana Kwame say ye ka say the length of our roads and the sizes of our roads emususa pa entino se wo pese wo de electronic boot crano esiso for instance they said the Ura University of Ghana Legon wo mo aye na ahe na wo betimi asi in that stretch of road. Okay, by now the minister in charge of roads should be telling us a buying air fast wire side because from last year to this year, even before President Akufo-Addo exited power, and as so it is likely say road tolls in the best this year you hinted that say road tolls in the baby we akwa kosi na wie. We've heard nothing about the road tolls. Any kwanya yebefa so ayeye. Now, if you go to the motorway, you see some level of construction. The question is that yeba ye motorway no a revamping na wie ni akase ye nyito bia wo so ana. Now motorway no konya defect. I mean sika be na yebekwa kotam e de aba be nie because already what the road fund a collateralize a period that would be do ho no enya nso ye. They make cannot say. And these are a lot of issues, and require a lot of answers, and there are a lot of expectations. Say, a buying budget eba yawade. I mean, ebe put a lot of measures in place to ensure say some of these things, Ghana nina dreamu aye clear, and there should be a clear focus and direction on my way echo in terms of the management of our economy. Okay, in terms of our finances, revenue generation, Kwame na buying ebe fasua obe raise sika ediaba. No wetimia spend this sika no, because o revenue no will raise sika will generate must correspond it with expenditure will make it. And abaye ni say may A B C D may say it must equally correspond with revenue generation. And it's a one fat taxes ma what will be the new methods, the new modalities abaye befa so obetimi dia eden a generate sika so that sika na will generate obetimi spend it on the project will person we yeden. We Edema Ghana for within the year. And these are very key issues. Maminti on it and sign your
one of the things may expect to say budget no ebe capture no.
Oh, say 95.1.
I say now the SWA government ye roads from Ufe Bridge Road now.
Nungwa Road yes.
Udu
the roundabout the flyover
barrier. Udu Nungwa barrier omoye overpass bi honum. Ama to an extent that affected the junction more na
okay.
Affecting because we say omo ye na do level bi no. Oma poso. Enti no as a bibia nkoso honum.
Okay.
Enti amanfo do na so a ombewura junction more so akwa business no. Ama omo so mo business no so no aye bibia ho asansa drop it. So I'm expecting and that road no it leads to the main harbor.
Okay.
And a harbor no so ye baby aban no ye ne sika dodo na afi. Harbor no ye baby aban ni sika dodo no nye na bebre na afi harbor. I'm expecting that budget ne be capture the aspect of that road now lead to the main harbor now. Emma aban ni nye sika no.
Okay.
Omo to me and go back to the site. Now to me and make sure that that road because Kwame, it's a major road. A major road and the way or not omo beam I know double lane. By far no a bit me aboa the aspect of harbor and near mom difi harbor ba ebi mu nko use motorway because it stands na no motorway no so eduma woso.
Yeah.
And the beach road near
the alternative road am for bet me use and a beach road no so no odu Nungwa barrier. Overpass is now it's been locked. Okay.
I do man into being course no. And you ask yourself say amount for no moko habo ko yi omo niama na yenye sika wo mo no. Road no apply to the harbor no at the same. So these are the areas I am praying that your budget no bit me capture no mo to me that road no na ema amount for no omo import niama na amount for omo exporting niama na omo apply that beach road now lead to harbor no that road
must be considered
yes.
in the budget.
Yes,
clearly I agree with you. Oko a year, for instance, Takrade in Swa, okay, such a flyover and an overpass. I mean, anyhow you want to put it. President Kufuado Eshe Biase and war a jip runabout. Now say ye kase that enclave no ukodruho. Okay, the road that lead to the Takrade airport. Offer the airco a year and Zema. Aguna Kwanta enclave name, and then on your right side, the lead to Paipano and Anaji enclave name, the Kahunina. Clearly, Obehu say area ni munina no ayebasa. Okay, what it means is that we would have to put the place in shape. Baby, I almost shall see a year Jumani drew, the concerns are that Sika ne ho anti contractors na then every site. Okay, Sika na SSA government of Ghana it you are the so contractors no the so no one more anye for that reason no among was so many every site. Now Udu Takra this is ya who say bibia and said anye day and koso ewo. Now the question is that ye the ensanya ye day akan okay, so we are talking about government project abandadano eden in sakaya akan rema. Say ye ka say for the purposes of sika ne ho any excuses one or two be a bebanti sign your money nyina na daso ye den ewo ho. Now a very important one agenda 111
Very, very important.
Okay, building 111 hospitals across the country. Now, President Mahama must as well know, sir, so to a far extent, Sikano ye to a good okay, and there are some of the projects. President Mahama, by sector, no, as I see, making sure, say, dear, and what are existing ones, and yet to me, a clear in every. And son, you best for Frasia,
yeah.
Now, projects like Rose, dear, Nana Kwame, baby, I will be far across the country beyond Obia here, Quine.
Obia here,
okay. Obviously, I am for bear tenor, a more 8 to 9, and now almost 10 in our catch or say,
Yaquine,
or more quine. And a quine, dear, you cannot stop it. But there are certain infrastructural projects, and yet very important. I say, about the Danish chassis, when you know. I mean, this budget must ensure say a back capture any money because again for the year 2025 there, okay, I mean somewhere much and a minister every day a year the 2025 budget and kasa when him say a binder than no transitional budget one more year and son a binder than free one for the first quarter. I mean January, February, ABC March. And on and a buying for year by na AUC at the year Juma again. I feel now be your appointment near there, so much cannot be done in your first year. Agreed.
Yeah.
But going into next year, no, there's a lot more of expectation because Ghana and Ibiano would the belief said by now a buying a settle. Your government is in full shape, and at the local level, local governance structure level, MMDC is where ye, okay, or district coordinating directors are one more year, Juma, maybe where ye
all the necessary appointments
made, yes. Your chief executives, where you are more deputies, the Akika where you nina,
why your board,
board ambassadors, where you are ministers, where you are more. So now you are in full operation, and the point is that you have no reason to fail the Ghanaian people.
Only excuse behavior.
And see, what I want the government to know.
The big story. 195.
And again, understand, no, and it's for the year 2026 and 2027, much is expected of the NDC.
Yeah.
Especially because, Nana Kwame, 2026 year Remi, say NDC as a party and as a government, and to me and deliver much more on the promises of the Ghana for. Okay, 2027 will be very difficult for them. Now, reason not any say. By 2027, 2026 ending, Echo 2027, no, the government, whether you like it or not, a bit destabilize Kakra. Okay,
of course,
a bit destabilizing because there are interests that are growing out of certain people within the government now.
Obimu
president. And clearly, President Mahama said uncontested BM in 2028. Okay, the NDC as a party.
So uncontested BM.
Well, was Wakaso uncontested BM, but nobody knows. Now the point is that what I'm saying is that by 2027, as a party, echo the early Congress. Okay, mind you. January 2026, NPPA, you are more flag bearer. Okay, the new patriotic party, the person, a whole 2 to 3 years.
3 years.
Period. At the turn, a candidate, whether Baumia, Kennedy, Bryan, or whoever that will emerge as the flag bearer of the party. Okay, if President Mahama is not contested for 2028, NDC will have to go on an early Congress to be able to ensure, say, Wamubeyi a candidate. Or be holding fort as flag bearer upon the exit of President Mahama. Now, what it means is that 2027 crown womu be call sa early Congress now. Womu yi nipa na the person must have at least 1 full year or more to be able to bet me a marketing because a new candidate will present it. Okay, if it happens, NPP you Dr. Baumia. The popularity already, and the NDC will have a serious job to do, and much of the job NDC, any party, any abayene is also dependent on the achievement of President Mahama.
Of course,
okay. And that make us say the year 2026, cannot be a joke for the government. Okay, if there is any year, I say abayene is serious and very focused on a niyama wo person wo ya the year 2026. Okay? And o budget or expenditure wo ye plans or revenue modalities our person will secure all those revenues. Any policies our person implementing must strictly be on point.
Right.
Now, it must be on point so that there will be a reason and something to tell the Ghanaian people. Say, look, this is what President Mahama is doing, and for that matter, whoever emerges the next flag bearer of the NDC in the bar, and no campaign ever to us. Okay, and 2025 understand? We understand it perfectly. More person more ensure accountability. Ekajuma no yoko chasing crofo national security bo rank crofo fie ni nyina sa ne mani nyina sisi this year.
Ni na akajuma no.
Now the people are expecting real hardcore results. Action to be given. So what you change crofo edin crofo court. Okay? Prosecution here with certain cases by end of 2026 a result necessary to Ghana for nothing more nothing less.
I don't know to me back
normal press conferences and your court and say and investigate you those concert parties cannot happen again.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, even if it happens, Ghanaians will not take it. The American not say you can decide as a government you want to play to the gallery, but Ghana one will not accept that because there is a standard that one would measure the leadership and what they say. Okay, yes, the exchange rate may be good, your inflation figures may be good, any idea, but the true reflection on the people's life, the standard of living, okay, and say you perceive here, I mean the index, the Human Development Index. Now, yes, in terms of progress, I mean, a buying you buy, saying and the standard of living, saying the city, all those things must reflect the figures are obeyed. Coupled with infrastructure project, our person, at the support. And I mean, this is more than a crucial moment for the NDC and the government.
2026, President Mahama we juma ye na juma na obeye no one ni appointees
and a
say juma pa
yeah
and appointees no so no almost any various agencies and a juma no what it means is that obi to be fail
exactly
enti obi a obeye na dwen say dachi bi no me higher position ntino
nti me nyire mo nya
ne nkwa juma no so no quickly so quickly so in because NDC flag buyer na omobeyi no eniama pa President Mahama ebeye no
eno so no
obegina so ade bebo hu dewuro se monhwe nia me papa ye na mfa nto aba amame anamebwa
exactly
until when you are we are appointees we are minister we are CEO na say bia wo so aiming at a higher office in the human
to becoming the next flag bearer.
You are aiming at a higher office.
I see you fast.
I see you fast if you know.
Okay.
Because one sheni year ninsa be wo form. Because oba ye no I say he is still enjoying the
goodwill
or enjoy pa. Until next year no say eba ne say obi delay obi di nsamfo obi ma scandal bi na ebe denti the image because this time here by what he's or the sin in this so
I careful
I'm careful me ye juma bi e live legacy na da chi bi me baby cross so baby the president am for antag na say papa buy no
am
very until this was when me ye juma to na magana for until appointees bi a why na dwen say obedenti the image no quickly so you if you
okay you be call senate in sensem no so. Okay, but I just wanted to explain some of these things so that Ghanaian expectation, I mean, will be met because you know Ghanaians, you know expectation. Okay, me offer me chrome kwanya. I expect that my neighbor.
Maybe there. Aguna is a kwanya who nanya papa. Aguna sabane important. Kwame, serious power. Aguna is akwan ho nanye.
Big story.
Oh, quite na.
Akwan ho nanye papa.
Okay, Western region there, you'll be sad. And so these are the expectations. But when I'm saying the coming day and then Monday until Ochinakosi Wednesday, we'll have more detailed conversation. You better the perimeters, any measures are buying the scene and so beginning the year. Okay, now Yashe baby are buying etimiya yen in the mano aqua could do. But